Today's report is a stark reminder of just how bloated and detached the government's woke waste machine has become. And really, it's a slap in the face to hardworking Canadians who don't earn in a month what Ottawa blows on drag performance nonsense in under an hour. So let's dig in. Recently, my access to information requests for costs associated with Public Service Pride Week, yes, that's a thing, have been rolling in. And while I thought the last of them came back with Health Canada's doozy of a response that they hire and utilize drag performers as a way to promote science and vaccination, this one reveals peak spending absurdity. This comes from the Liberal-led Government of Canada, specifically Women and Gender Equality Canada, called WAGE. And they're shelling out $5,000 of your hard-earned tax dollars to hire a drag queen named Jaylin Time for a virtual Pride Week event back in August of 2025. Yeah, you heard that right, $5,000 for a 45-minute virtual chat plus Q&A, all under the banner of Together We Create Change. So let's go through these documents. This contract was brokered through the Speakers Bureau of Canada. It's for a virtual appearance where Jaylin, described as a two-spirit Indigenous trans woman and drag performer, talks about two LGBTQIA plus perspectives, intersectionality, and how to foster inclusive working environments for federal employees. The event was aimed at public servants with up to 1,000 attendees tuning in via Microsoft Teams. That's 1,000 bureaucrats using paid work hours on a virtual session, another hefty taxpayer expense with little practical value that we don't know the full cost scope of. The speaker fee was $4,424.78 plus HST, which bumped it to exactly $5,000. But there's no travel, there's no expenses. It's just a digital drag show funded by you. And the invoice was due in full 15 days before the event, with advance payment for timely scheduling and preparation. Preparation for what? Lip syncing to government-approved inclusivity anthems? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all for free expression and people living their lives, but do it on your own time, at your own expense, without this wasteful, blatant virtue signaling. Canada is in a cost of living crisis. Groceries are through the roof, housing is unaffordable, and small businesses are barely scraping by. Yet here we are with Carney's crew dropping $5,000 on a performer whose whole shtick is, let's be honest, a man dressed up as a perverse caricature of a woman. How on earth does that advance actual women and gender equality? WAGE is supposed to be fighting for things like women's rights, equal pay, ending violence against women, and supporting moms and families. Instead, they seem more set on funding a drag act that mocks femininity with exaggerated stereotypes. Is this really empowering women or mocking them? Please, someone explain it to me like I am 5. How exactly does a guy in heels and makeup lecturing bureaucrats online on intersectionality help a single mom in rural Ontario provide a better life for her family, or protect Indigenous women from the epidemic of missing and murdered cases? It doesn't, because it's theater. Expensive, taxpayer-funded theater that prioritizes performative wokeness over real help. And the contract's stacked with pages of legalese about intellectual property, conflict of interest, and even video recording rights, like this is some high-stakes Hollywood production. Canadians, your tax dollars are being funneled into feel-good fluff while the country crumbles. If WAGE really wants change, how about redirecting that cash to women's shelters or making life easier and more affordable by cutting this kind of useless, wasteful spending and reducing the ever-increasing tax burden so moms could maybe afford to stay home and raise their children again? For Rebel News, I'm Tamara Ugolini. If you'd like to help fund our access to information requests and see more government accountability reports just like this one, please do so at rebelinvestigates.com. That's rebelinvestigates.com.